Hello there, everyone. We are live with Mark Farr, our bartender, as well as Andy.
Maybe we shouldn't call it Footsore Friday. We should call it the Whining Weekend.
Yeah. Frazzle Friday.
Frazzle Friday, yeah.
Friday. That's very fitting. Mark has a nice beverage, adult beverage. I am just drinking water, so nothing fun. So, hello, everyone. I hope everyone's doing really good. This is our monthly live session, and we like taking this time to meet with everyone and answer some live questions from the audience, as well as some written ones that have been submitted. So we do thank you for taking the time to do that. Let's see. So, Mark, how are you doing?
Very good, very good. Yes, been another busy week. It seems that people are still buying lots of toy soldiers, which is great. And we, as a little business, are run off our feet. So, as usual, thank you very much to our customers for sticking with us. And you know, we're obviously maybe not tracking as fast as we'd like to be on getting stuff out, but it's all going out the door. So yeah, glad it's Friday though.
Oh, I know. Andy's busy typing away.
I am.
Hello, everyone. How are you doing, Andy?
Thank you.
Just hands.
Hands. Just chat.
I'm good, thank you. Yeah, good. Thank you.
Good.
Yes.
What have you been up to, Andy?
Well, with the lockdown, homeschooling, which has been fun. I don't think you're allowed to expel your own children from your homeschool. So if I could, my youngest would have been expelled by now. But no, it's mostly that really. That's what I've been doing. So yes, the gift that keeps on giving, homeschooling.
Yes. Especially when you know that if you need to increase your broadband, if they're all doing Zoom or live classes, I don't know how they're doing it over there, but
yeah, a bit of both actually. And
right.
You know, joking aside, they're actually both doing really well. And the both schools have prepared lots of cool stuff, and in such a short period of time as well. So there's lots of lessons and everything, and I'm just. But the problem is my youngest, who's 9, she just needs constant supervision. My eldest, who's 11, she's off. You know, she's at that age where she's just pre-teen, so she's doing really well. So yeah, it's interesting, but it does eat up a lot of time.
Yeah.
So, no, it's good. I'll tell you what, though, test me on any times table, I'm your man. My times tables, I am your man at the moment.
Well, it's good that you finally learned them.
I did, yeah. Yeah, just, I was struggling with my 8s until this week, Tim, but I'm okay now, thanks. Yeah.
But I know schooling's changed, but when I was a kid, you didn't have a choice. You had to know all of your timetable.
Yeah.
Your teacher would just point across the class and go 3 7s or 5 9s or and you had to know, else.
Yeah. Well, how did that work on the abacus? How did you guys do that?
I had to be very careful with the chalk and the slate. You know, if you rub your hand across it, it just takes your answers out. You know,
takes the numbers out. Yeah.
He's older than me by quite a bit. Let's just be clear about that.
It's true. Yeah. I am. I'm showing the age.
Yeah. So, hobby-related stuff. We were talking about that. We haven't really had a good chinwag. Talk about what are we doing? What are we doing for our hobby? And I don't know, Mark, what have you been doing lately for your own hobby?
Well, it's funnily enough, I'm getting ready to move house, so I've kind of packed all of my stuff away, and I didn't realise how much an important part of my life it was. I find it quite frustrating now that I can't just go. I normally have a little painting table set up in the back bedroom, and I could just go in there, and I've got my lights just how I like my lights, and I've got my paints out in front of me, and and my desk, my painting table looks like a war zone, because normally like I'm a hobby butterfly like everybody else, so I've got loads of stuff on the go, and so there's always stuff going on, and I'm quite missing that. But my last thing that I was working on that I was really enjoying painting was I'd got some of the War Games Atlantic Irish, and I'd been working on the cloaks using the new Games Workshop paints, and
the contrast ones.
The contrast ones, yeah, and they were coming up lovely. I was quite impressed. I thought I might look vaguely like a professional painter. Obviously, didn't look at the cloaks look good. Just don't look at the rest of the figures.
Are they the ones you used when we were play testing the Irish?
Yeah,
they were lovely. Yeah,
they're good figures.
Yeah, but they're not finished yet. Yeah. So there's those on the go. There's my Barons War Force. Obviously, I had to quality check some of the Barons War 2 minis. So I always think the best way to do that is to paint them. So I'd kind of got some of the mounted sergeants on the go and some of the sergeants on foot just to see, and they're coming up lovely. So there's those. So obviously I've been focusing on the Barons War. And then I also like, you can see how much of a hobby butterfly I am. I also like the skellies that North Star have just released in like the early Bronze Age armor and stuff.
Oh, the Oathmark stuff.
Yeah. So I've got some of those on the go as well. So, and the good thing about those is they go on square bases, which is important to me. And
can you still get square bases?
Yeah, of course you can still get square bases.
Joking.
And I do have a fine collection in my loft as well. So.
The old slotted 20mm bases?
Oh yeah. So
I think Mark has all the 20mm slot bases in his place.
When I started a workshop, you would buy your miniatures by weight. So you'd go into the mail order section, you take all the figures you want, and then you just go to the bases section, and you just, because they don't weigh anything, you just like hoof a pile in way more than you needed, and then go and pay for it by weight. So I have probably a couple of drawers upstairs in my loft, that one's like full of like 20mm squares, one's full of 25mm squares, one's full of 40mm squares, another one's by 25 by 50s. So
right.
Well, your loft is amazing. It's a good job no one knows where you live.
Oh yeah.
They'd be raiding it. It's amazing.
Yeah. Well, that's why I'm moving. So I can have a man shed.
Yes, I'm waiting till you have your man shed, and that will make everything even more accessible. And then I will strike, trying to get it down out here.
Trying to get it out of my loft, quietly. Yeah. Not going to work. So going back to my point, I've realised how important my hobby time is to me, and I will, once everything's moved, I will be like getting back into serious hobby again, because it's that for me. I mean, I know some people like to play music and stuff, and or have the TV on in the background, but I have nothing. I just have peace and quiet, and I just love it. It's my time for like painting and contemplation and all that kind of Zen stuff.
What you're saying is you're meditating.
I am
painting. No,
yes, that's yes.
Yeah,
that explains the quality of the painting. Yes.
Yeah.
The wine or the meditation?
Both. Don't dip your paintbrush in your wine.
No.
Right. But there you go. That's where I'm
at. Mark. There's loads of square base aficionados coming out in the messages. They're all backing you for some reason.
Good for them. Yes.
I have plenty of GW, plenty of dwarves on square 20mm, and all of my painted Napoleonics are on 28mm painted Napoleonics are on the square bases, because they fit rather nice in the Sarissa trays.
Yeah.
Someone's square base. Aaron Smith says, Andy, square bases are retro, and retro is the future.
And he's right.
Look, I am a Warhammer player too. but you know,
Health
those
players
days are
count.
gone. Those
More
days
of-
are gone.
Health
more like
players count.
Oh dear.
So, what have you been up to, Mr. Spakowski? Because I've seen some lovely stuff on your painting
All
table.
right. Yeah.
Well, I have been diligently working on stuff for the Savage Frontier Kickstarter, and some things that I haven't shown yet that I can't wait to show. It's killing me not showing them, but I have to wait. But so trying to get everything to look really nice with the terrain and stuff.
Some of the snippets that I have seen that you've done, I do
Oh, yeah.
really like. I really think you've captured that kind of cold, wintry frontier feel, and it just like I look at it and I go, it's time for a cup of hot chocolate. So you know, so it's obviously working.
That picture you shared with us the other day, and that's all I'm saying about it, was brilliant.
Mm.
And I understand why you'd want to share it, but it should be kept. Keep it for when it's time to reveal it all. But it's awesome. I was,
Thank you.
Yeah.
I tell you, that was the first time I've actually really done a big snow board.
Yeah.
Trees, and that's very interesting. That is an experience.
Oh, it looks brilliant.
It's very
fun. You know, we're having one of those conversations where we're the only people who've seen it, unfortunately. But it will be worth the wait, everybody. And what you've done is phenomenal. You know, it's spot on. It's going to be very exciting when it comes.
Yeah.
When I know that this is a board that I've made, but when I go downstairs to look at it, my temperature feels like it's decreasing because
it's cold.
It's bloody frigid. So
yeah.
And that's very important. So
you know what we should do? We should ship it with gloves when it comes.
Yeah.
A pretty pair of gloves.
Well, the challenge with making a terrain board is you got to find a place to put it afterwards. You know?
Yes.
So that terrain board is a 2x2.
Yeah.
I think that's a good size.
I usually give mine away afterwards.
Well, I thought about it.
Once we've done it, the one I did, my favourite board that I've done was the one I did for Antares a few years ago. It was my Space Age one, and in the end I gave it away. Just gave it away with everything.
Did that go to Boards and Swords?
Yeah, I went to Boards and Swords in Derby. Yeah.
So Boards and Swords over here in the UK is a really good retailer. So obviously they're suffering like everybody else at the moment, but Boards and Swords were really helpful for us because when we play test, sometimes we'll obviously we can't do it globally, but here in the UK, we'd organise some play test groups for people, and so they get a preview of some of the products and stuff we were working on, and we get their feedback and that. And Boards and Swords were great hosts for us, and of course they got loads of different toy soldiers to buy as well. So why wouldn't you go and spend time there? But
But also, I think as well, when we're doing things, projects, we do a project for a reason, and we do play it and everything. But there's nothing. I think there's nothing sadder but when you finish with it, it just sits there. It's quite a sad thing, you know. So and if you can give it to someone or a group that are then
going to
take it and use it, then that's really cool, isn't it? And then also, it spurs me on to do something else, because then I think, I haven't got a table anymore. What are we going to do now? I'll build another one, or we'll do something else.
Right.
So it kind of does that too, which is good. Yeah. But sometimes I wish I hadn't given it away, because there's some bits on that table I wish I'd kept now.
Well, I'm on the fence because it is a 2x2 board, so it's not that big. I can find a place, and plus the way it's done, it can be used for future winter games that we do, and for nice pictures and stuff.
Yeah, I'd keep it. You know, I would keep your snowboard for a bit. Work for Coven as well, won't it? Eventually.
Yeah.
Just saying.
For Coven?
Yeah.
It'd be
great for that. Yeah.
Yep. Okay, I'll keep it. But, so to
That
answer your
took a lot,
question,
didn't it?
that's what I've been doing, and I see Glenn Capine join. He and I are talking every day, and he is busy, been painting a lot of the figures for the side Kickstarter. Because I've been on the other side of it, getting some of the other stuff done, and so we're still moving forward, and thankfully I've got guys here to support me in it. But from like my own personal hobby stuff, man, it's just getting the Savage Frontier stuff has been taking my time, just because I really want it to look nice.
Yeah,
of course. Yeah.
Well, you're passionate about it, and it'll show, won't it? So that's the thing. So shall we ask Andy what he's been up to? Because I bet he's not been up to as much as us.
No, I haven't. But I was just at the point you were making there, to pointing over here when you're over here. I also think, like when we're like with what you're doing at the moment with the French-Indian Wars, that is your hobby project, isn't it, at the moment?
Yes.
And I think even though we like talking for myself when we did the Barons War, that was my hobby project, and it's been that for quite a while, because that's what we were doing, that's what we were releasing. So, the cynics among people will say, yeah, you're only doing it because you want to sell the game, blah, blah, blah. But it's not really. It becomes your passion and the thing that you're doing. So for me, I'm still doing Barons War stuff at the moment. A couple of things, well, 3 things for the Barons War at the moment. One is I'm just finishing writing up the supplement for the Dark Ages, which is beginning to grow a bit bigger than I intended it to be. And just answering Lindsay in the feed, it says, you're saying you're going to go back to 451 AD all the way through. Will we see rules for late Romans, Arthurians, Romans, Picts, Vikings, Saxons, and Normans, etc.? The answer is yes. We've just finished the Vikings, the Saxon, and the Norman army lists. So, and a primer for the supplement. So then everything else will go in there. So that's one thing I'm doing hobby-wise. But the other thing I'm doing is, now that the book is coming on general release next month, I'm starting a new force. So I'm just planning a 500-point force. So all the stuff that we've done before, I parked, and with people getting their armies and their stuff coming through, I thought it'd be a good idea to start a new retinue. So I'm going to plan it out and share it with people, and show what we're going to do and walk through that. And I think George is going to do the same. So we'll start showing people how to build retinues, and I'll video it as well. I'll do some videos so people can see how you build an army. So that's my next thing. So this morning I was thinking about how I could structure some certain things and use some cool miniatures. I was thinking about using the hospitaller. Can't even speak. It's a 2 glass of prosecco I've had as a priest in my command unit. So instead of just using the priest figure, I was thinking of using him. So I thought that would be a nice twist, and so I've started thinking about what figures I'm going to use out of our range. So that's what we're working on, and then I'm just writing scenarios really for the Barons War 3, which is going to be a campaign. So the idea will be it'll be a set of linked scenarios where you'll play one, and the outcome of that will affect the next one, and the ways to go, etc. So the idea is I'm going to give that away with the Barons War 3 if it's successful, and there'll also be some basic rules for doing campaigns and stuff in there for Barons War. So that's my hobby for the next few months. That's what I'll be doing. Notice there's nothing there about painting, because as you can see behind me, I have a great painting area and all of that, but I am the world's slowest painter. And I like converting, and I like building army lists. I haven't got the patience to paint, because by the time Mark is voracious when it comes to painting, he's so quick. and so good. And I think people like Mark just ruined my hobby for me because I can't paint as fast as Mark. So by the time I've in my head, I've got this great idea and I want to paint it, but I can't ever paint it fast enough before the next great idea comes along.
Right.
So yeah. So
That's the benefit of old age is you see everything's new to me every time I see it. So
so yeah, that's my
Well,
yeah. So that's what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm still going on it, and I'm looking at something else as a little hobby side project, which I'll share at a later date, which is something totally different. And I'm starting to do some conversions and bits and pieces, just playing around at the moment.
Fun.
That'll always tends to lead to something interesting once you start going off on another track.
Yeah. I'm trying to be good this year. So there's loads of stuff I really want to do for Mortal Gods. So it's going to be a big summer probably of Mortal Gods. There'll be stuff leading up to it, but I think it's going to be a big summer of Mortal Gods. So we're looking at some really cool stuff for that at the moment. But yeah, it's easy to get distracted. Yeah.
It is.
Obvious, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It's damn distracting.
Yeah. So yeah, all good. I'll tell you what I am missing though, not playing games.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm really struggling with it at the moment. I'm not struggling with not seeing anybody because I'm fine with that. I don't like anybody. But I'm really struggling not playing games because we usually play at least once a week.
Yeah.
Over here, or religiously. So we have a group that we would meet on a Wednesday and play. So we haven't done that for some time now. I think it's probably since it all started. So yeah. I am missing that.
Yeah, it's just it's the sociability side of it, isn't it? Of constantly, just meeting up with you, having a good excuse to meet up with your mates and have a good old chinwag and a bit of a laugh, isn't it?
Yes, totally. And these are people we've known for a long time, and from Games Workshop days, and at least one of them I wouldn't see if we don't play, which I haven't seen him for a while, so I am missing that. So yeah, that's a bit poo. But yeah. I'm gonna stop crying.
That cheered us up, Andy. Well done. Yeah.
Yeah, sorry. Anyway,
talking of Mortal Gods, somebody earlier asked what was coming out from Mortal Gods, didn't they? And I can tell you now the Persian Chariot has been pressed, master molded.
Oh, it's beautiful.
And that is beautiful. And the Egyptian Marines are now being master molded. So we'll be getting some production molds done of those fairly soon. And the guy, John Robertson, who sculpted them for us, he seems to be able to turn his hand to anything, because I've asked him to do some other stuff for us. And he goes, oh, that's not really my period. I'm not sure what. And he sent us some other stuff now that's completely different. And I'm like, are you sure you really just focus on ancients? Because these are really nice. So
they're beautiful.
He's done some cracking stuff, which you guys will get to see over the next few months. And he's just very good.
Yeah. So releases wise, we got the Chariot, we got the Egyptian Marines coming, haven't we?
Yeah.
And we've got Heroes for Mythic.
Yes.
Yep. Cards.
So they're coming as well. So
yeah, and we'll have the Agema stuff as well after he's finished his Kickstarter.
Oh yeah, we're going to do the impressives, aren't we?
Yeah, so we'll have those as well. So that's another exciting bit to drop into the range. And they're sculpted by Stavros as well, so they'll fit in very nicely with our existing stuff. Trish is quietly working away in the background on some more stuff for Mythic. I showed one of her latest models that she's been doing for us to a company that makes a lot of fantasy monsters, and they were like, "Wow, that's just awesome."
If it's the latest one she's done, it is amazing.
Yeah, incredible. So
it is incredible. You know, it looks great with a high elf on.
Yeah. I will spoil a good miniature. I know. Yeah. So we've got there's stuff going on with that. We're talking to some other people about stuff as well for Mortal Gods and Mythic. So I think this year will be an exciting year for Mortal Gods and Mythic. You know, there's a lot going on there. So it's all quite exciting, isn't it?
It is very exciting, and you know, I've been distracted at the beginning of this year because Frederick's just said, Krasko's just said about Barons War 2 pledges.
Yeah,
that's been really distracted me at the beginning of this year, just to make sure that that's sorted. But the good news is, obviously, we got all the EU stuff out early before the shit fest that's happened, for want of a better word. And then we sent the far flung places first this month, didn't we? Like to Australia and Japan and you know, Far East, New
Zealand, all those kind of places. Yeah,
they're taking weeks at the moment, aren't they, to get there? Yeah, so give the guys a fighting chance before the rule book came out, and then the US has gone this week. So this weekend, the good news is for everybody else, there's 265 pledges left to go. They're all UK pledges, and all the stock has been remade, and it's all ready to be picked. So tomorrow, we're going to go and pick 265 UK pledges and have them all in the post next week, and that will be it. So I'm very excited about that. So and humbled. I've been very humbled by the backers who have really been understanding about this. The fact that we've been a few weeks later than we planned.
Yeah.
So it's been brilliant, and it's allowed us to actually deliver on it. So it's great. So I will update everybody next week, and hopefully the update will be it's all gone. That's the plan. Isn't it? So and then all those people who are waiting, because a couple of guys have mentioned when will it be released? March? Is it March, Mark?
Yeah. Well, we said what we would do is we'd make sure that we were confident that all of the backers had got their stuff before we would release it into the main range. So obviously, if it's all gone out by the end of next week, hopefully by the end of the week after, and then allowing for deliveries across the rest of the world and stuff, it would be nice to get it out in another month or so. So maybe the start of March would be a good time to say we'll have it available. But obviously, you know, the guys who went to back a kit and supported and did all of the support that way. We got to make sure we have got them all happy first, and then
absolutely, and they also have a right to have some breathing space on it, don't they? They should be comfortable and all of that business. You know, it's only happened because of those, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. If they had put their money up front, then you know it wouldn't have happened. So and also it'll give us a bit of time to remake some of the molds, because we have sold a lot of Barons War 2 and Barons War 1, and you know,
Barons, what did we work out? It was about all in all, it was about 14,500 blisters.
Yes,
we've had to make for Barons War 2. Which works out on average at 45,000 miniatures.
Yes.
That needed casting.
Yeah.
It's insane, isn't it? It's insane.
And then if you break it down and look at horses and shields and spears and all the rest of it, it's like, you know, no wonder it's Friday night and we're all on the alcohol.
Yes.
Well, I know on this end, during all the holiday sales that we've had, with getting orders out for just regular orders, the Barons War figures by far are the best selling from I see here, and it's constant. It's I see Barons Wars and then the Normans range and then everything else.
Goes down from that.
But it's very interesting, and it's been great support so far, especially for the Barons War rules. For the pre-order. Everyone's really excited about the rules, which they're really, really good. I like them. I personally don't even have any Barons War figures painted. I have not had the time. I know, it's horrible because of what we've been doing for the Savage Frontier. Not to mention,
you obviously don't love it enough, Tim.
I'm gonna go. Not to mention all the other side projects we have for this year for modern ranges.
Yes.
Yeah.
But I want to say thank you, because I have not stopped. Well, I tell people March.
Do you know what? I agree. It's totally taken us a bit by surprise. Me by surprise. When you think that the rule book really was just meant to be a few pages and it was going to be an alpha so people could push the toy, push their, I was going to call toy soldiers, and I know people get upset about that, push their miniatures around on the table, their figures on the table, and it gave them something to do. And because of a good thing about the pandemic is it gave me a lot more time to write the rules. And we have this rule book now, which we really like the rules, and it's a real fun to play. So something really cool has come out of it, and the way that it's been received so far is phenomenal. I am actually blown away by it. And if we look at the pre-orders as well, it's gone crackers, absolutely crackers. And I can't say thank you enough. I hope people enjoy playing it when they get it and they get back together. But it's taken me by surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I think the period and the love that's gone into the book has really captured people's imagination, and that's been really good. And when you look at the different links and stuff that we've set up, so you can go and talk about the Barons War, you can find the Barons War page and all the rest of it. The detail that some people are going into, because it's really caught their imagination, and people are going back and following their family names. Chris Bone is one of our mates who we gamed with, who is one of the guys we're missing because we're not gamed with him for a while. He's done all of his family research back to the Dark Ages.
Wow!
And he's he's done it and he knows it. And there's other people who have maybe not gone for their family name, but gone for the area where they live, and they look at the history of that area and who was in that area and what was going on. And for me, I come from Hereford, and Hereford was in the Marches, so along the Welsh borders. Cool. So there's loads of stuff going along there. It's bonkers. I think I was reading a book the other day. Yes, I can read. It looks like Herefordshire's got one of the most highest densities of fortifications of anywhere in the UK, because it was on that border area and it was so volatile for so many centuries. So that's quite exciting. So I'm interested about that. But then other people have gone, well, you know what? I like the period and I love it, but I just like this colour scheme, so I'm going to paint my guys like this. And that's like, yeah, that's cool. That's where I started doing the playtest armies. Andy says I'm a fast painter, but I tend to choose quick and easy colour schemes. So when I chose the heraldry for my figures, I made it up. I mean, I've been looking at heraldry since the year dot because I'm just like I've been interested in military history and wargaming since as long as I can remember. So I kind of know what heraldry should look like, but I've kept it really simple. And the colour schemes I've chosen, really simple, really basic, but it allowed me to get some forces on the table. And that was, for me, that's just as important as knowing all the history and stuff. I do love all the history. I've read loads of stuff on it, but getting painted miniatures on the table to game with, that's for me, that's where it's at. That's where it's at. So yeah. And it's for me again. This is Andy's fault. It's addictive because he's so passionate about what he gets involved in and what he's interested in that that you just feel like you have to dig into it with him and find out what's going on. I've got a book sat on my on the arm of my sofa that I've been slowly reading for about the last 2 or 3 months, because it's about it's all about the medieval church and the clerics and how they were involved in warfare through that early medieval period and stuff. It's a very dry read. I mean, it's Andy was like, oh, I need this book, and I was like, oh, well, anyway, it got delivered to my house, so I started reading it, and it is a very dry read, but it's bloody interesting. I wouldn't have picked it up and chosen it as a book to read. At some point, I must give it to him so he can read it himself.
Yes, please.
But it's just fascinating. So yeah, I think we found, or Andy's found, a really interesting period in history. That's not too. It's not definitely. It was this. They did this. They did that. There was a lot of stuff going on. The written records of the time aren't great. Heraldry is not a thing. At that point,
it's just becoming a thing, isn't it?
It's just becoming a thing, but it's not. It's like people forget that, like the Victorians, who got a lot to blame for what we think history is, had to quantify everything and know everything and put it in a set way that was with their belief values. So obviously, when the first Earl of, I don't know, Pimpletown became in charge, he obviously thought at that time, I will have my heraldry, and then when I have a son, he can half it, and then when he has a son, he can quarter it, and then he'll put a chevron on, and that's the way it's going to work. Yeah, of course he thought like that. So it's interesting. So you can do what the hell you like, and it's that's what I like about it. There's the history there. Yeah. There's the framing, but within it, there's so much going on. It's just fascinating. The historical stuff is fascinating. The stuff you can do for yourself is great as well, and that's kind of where I'm at with it. I love to know all the detail, but I want to get painted toy soldiers on the table, so I'm not going to do.
Right.
Yeah. Right. Sorry, Andy, I stole your thunder on Barons War then.
Not at all. No, not at all. It's great that you got quite passionate about it. I mean, for me, it was two things that made me disappear down the rabbit hole. One was the game Cry Havoc, as we talked about before, which was all set in the Barons War. And the other one's, the poster boy of the period, William Marshall.
Mr. William Marshall, yeah.
And, his sons had his biography written about him at the time, and it's like it's still a copy of it. So if you read a book on him, there's so much information in there that really paints so much colour. But besides him, there isn't a lot, So yeah, go for it. And anyway, yeah, we could talk about Barons all evening, but we won't. Just got some questions coming in. Good, Lindsay. We talked you into going past 1200 AD. That's good. Eduardo Laura says, "Are you thinking on modern warfare rules? Wink, wink, poke, poke." Tim.
We've done more than thinking. It's still being written. So that's another project. Yes.
Yes, it's happening, isn't it?
Yes.
Giovanni says, will Barons War 3 feature chainmail, barded horses and knights? Andy some time ago said they were coming for a different project. They are coming, but it won't be for Barons War 3. They'll be coming for another project towards the end of this year. Yep.
But Barons War 3, it's got some exciting stuff with it that's a bit different. So
it is. I think it's going to be the full stop on this Barons War piece for a bit, not on the rules, but on the period. And then, as I've said before, what we'll do is we'll bookend it there, and then we're going to go over the sea. And that's what the next project will be. But it'll still be the Barons War, as in the game, the Barons War. But we're gonna go and look at something else, which will allow me to do some different types of nights as well. You know,
Fun.
I want to do some continental nights. You know, so yeah, so that'll be later. Tim said credit to Paul Hicks. Yeah, he's really good, Tim. He's a good friend to have. And he said, you just can't beat his sculpts, the quality of your caster. Thank you very much. He said, just need some Welsh, Mark.
Funny you should say that.
Funnily enough, Tim.
Funny enough, you may have heard me mention that I'm from Hereford and it's on the Welsh Marches. So there's another really good sculptor that lives down in Hereford, a guy called Matt Bickley, who I'm sure you've all heard of. And me and him have been talking about doing some more stuff. We're just about to release the Saxons that he did for us with lots of nice additions that we've been keeping in the background, and we're going to release them so that they're going to be released so that they're suitable for Barons War. So when Andy sorted out the Dark Age rules for the Saxons and stuff, you'll be able to sort that out in the background. So yeah, there's my wife in the background. so just in case you wonder what the hell's going on in the background, we have a cat, and our cat has a cat flap, but he doesn't use it. He kind of goes and knocks on the door to be let out. So and then when he comes back in, he just like rattles the cat flap so that we have to open the door to let him in as well. So he only uses the cat flap when we're at the house, but you know, just so just in case anybody was interested in what the hell's going on in the background. Where were we before?
We're talking about Saxons.
So Matt Bickley's Saxons. So it's turned into a big range, and as you'll know from talking to us all before, we're kind of interested in that period after 1066, because kind of 1066 been done to death, especially if you were Harold. And so the range has been designed to have a few more interesting bits, so we can look at the 10 years after, because everybody, if you read the history books, it was 1066. There was the Battle of Stamford Bridge. The Vikings were defeated. There was the Battle of Hastings. The Saxons were defeated. We then became the Norman country, and that was it. No, there was 10 years of hard fighting for the Normans to actually get control of England. And it didn't always go their way. So there's a lot of interesting stuff there. So the Saxon range kind of you could use it and put some stuff together for a big battle, but it's kind of designed with the idea of skirmishing, and they could be, you know.
It straddles 1066 as well.
Yeah,
you've got Morcar and Edwin, which are released.
Yeah, and we've got Harold, so you know.
Yeah, and we've also done Hereward as well.
Yeah, Hereward the Wake is just classic, brilliant Saxon fighter who was probably over in Europe at the Battle of Hastings, but then came back and just kicked some serious Norman ass. And then, you know, again, obviously talk about the marches. There was other stuff going on over that side as well. I think the Saxon. I think one of the Welsh came down and came into Hereford and burnt down the first Norman castle in 1056, which I thought was interesting, because you didn't really think there was a Norman influence before 1066 in England, but there was. And then once Hastings was over, a lot of the Saxons went into Wales as a place to hide, and then, you know, caused trouble on the borders as well. So that's, you know, quite interesting. So yeah, so there's loads going on with it, and so the Saxon range, and they're all Matt Bickley sculpts. So why wouldn't you buy them? They're all beautiful. So yeah, very, very excited about those coming out.
Yeah, and they're going to hopefully go up next weekend. They won't be this weekend, but
No.
they'll go up just before the end of the month, I think.
Yes. Yeah. 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 And so it's worth saying to people as well that some of that range you've seen already, and then we've expanded it a lot. And so if you, like me, have got the collector gene and you must kind of have one of everything, there'll be an offer for you to just get the new stuff, but the other stuff's there as well. I was going to say the old stuff and the new stuff, it's all just gorgeous. So yeah, even if you don't like Saxons, even if it's not your period, you'll buy them because they're lovely. So yeah, there's some really nice character figures in there.
I saw a lot of the late Saxons here. Late Saxon range here. They're very nice.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Yeah, we got some lovely sculptors working for us at the moment. It's really good.
And we've got another question. Will there be any light cavalry scouting horses within the Baron's War collection anytime soon?
Well,
some of those sergeants could be used.
I was going to say the sergeant's horses are perfect for that because they've got just some of like the medieval trapping on them that's very light, so you can use. They're fine for light horses, and then obviously you've got the comparison horses as well. So the answer is yes. Yes,
we'd like to do some more, I think, as well. So Stephen Trenholm says, over the sea white ship. I know what you want, Stephen. It will come at some point. Saxons this month, so I can also get Philip II. That's right, Tony. Yeah. Tabletop sim, will we be doing something on there at some point? Maybe. It's how many hours are in the day.
Right.
Tim likes the news about the Welsh. Good. Cool. And we'll just ignore Glenn with his LCD at the bottom there. I'd love to. We've had a chap, we've had a Spanish chap contact us as well. He would like to do the Baron's War in Spanish.
Yeah.
And he'd really like to do that period. So why wouldn't we do that? So
it's cool. Again, that's a fascinating period. It's like everybody thinks the Crusades all went one way. We all went to the Holy Land. People forget. I think it was the 6th or 7th century. The Muslims invasions had nearly got to Paris. And then that was where they were stopped, and then they were forced back. But they were in Spain till like the 15th century before the Christians could manage to push back out. So all of that kind of periods, really, there's loads going on. It's really, again, it's another one of those months where
absolutely. And let's not, we've probably said this before. Let's just, the reason I based the Baron's War on the Baron's War 1 conflict, it's because I'm a massive fanboy of William Marshall, so I focused it on there. And if I tried to do anything bigger, it would never have got done, because it's just too big. So I had to pick somewhere. But it was always created with the idea that we would go outside of England and Great Britain and go and do other things. I mean, it's so many other things I'd love to do. So, it's going to happen. So let's not lose sight of that. And just with that in mind as well, we'll use the rules for other things. Lindsay Gould's asked, will I need the Baron's War original to run Dark Ages, or is it separate? You will need the rule book.
The core rule book.
The core rule book. However, the Dark Age supplement's going to be free. I could, to be honest, the way that it's grown, we could charge for it, I reckon, but I don't want to do that because when we originally did it, we'd created, George and I had created the Vikings, the Saxons, and the Normans to go in the back of the book, but they just didn't fit. The book had grown into something which was totally something else, so we took them out, and the idea was to release them on their own. Just as downloadable army lists, but now it's just grown a bit more. So we're just going to make it a free download, and we'll just keep adding to it. And if it eventually becomes a big enough to be a book, and we do release it as a book, we would just put the rules in the front. I don't want I don't want to be, jipping anybody. If there's people who don't ever want to do the Barons War, then and the Dark Age stuff grows to be a big enough book on its own, we'll just put the rules in the front and we'll release it if that's what people want. But for now, we've got the website, which is warhost.online, which is the idea is for it to support the Barons War. We'll just release everything onto there. Right. So when the supplement's done, and I'm aiming for it to be the same time as when the book's released, you'll just be able to go and download it for free. If there's other army lists people want, just let us know, and we will write them up and we'll add it and we'll put them all up there.
Yeah. Or once you've got the rules and you can see how it works, you can send us an army list and we'll have a look at it and we can try it and tweak it as necessary, because obviously it'll be your favorite army, so everything you send us will be Space Marines. So we'll have to adapt it to fit within the system, but we want, like we talked about earlier when we used to go to boards and swords and stuff, we're inclusive. We don't just this, with what we've had to do with the Barons War, is because of the current COVID situation, we haven't been able to do what we would normally do. And we've had to be very selective about who, what, where, and when to play test. But we want to think that we're creating communities of like-minded people who aren't just going to take out, but are going to feed in as well. Because we can't do it all. And if we've got like the guy in Spain who wants to translate into Spanish, and his thing is LC. You guys have probably got in Spain. They've got access to information that we'd never have here. And we'd love to have the detail of all of the LC stuff, like we've got on William Marshall, because that would just be awesome. So that the idea is that. We'll do what we can, but we want you guys to come back in as well.
It would just make it all happen quicker.
Yeah,
right. That's what happens. I'm desperate to do all the stuff around the anarchy, but that would be another little project off on its own. But if someone said to me, you know what, just use all of this. These are all the key characters. This is what I would kind of do for them. Here's some notes. And I'd go, oh, yeah, that's that easy to turn that into army lists. Thank you very much. You've just saved me, a month's work or whatever. I'll then go and spend 2 weeks creating your army lists. Or we do them together. And we'll credit anybody who helps. Of course we will. So, yeah, that's the way to do it.
Yeah. There's just so much to do that we're excited about. So
yeah, agreed. Totally agree. Cool. All right. I'm just looking to see if there's any questions. What other news have you got, Tim? You must have some other secret squirrel stuff that you're not going to tell us.
Well, when I posted stuff for the Savage Frontier, I know I keep talking about that because that's what I've been.
It looks good.
Nice. People have asked about, are we releasing a set of rules with it? Yeah. Yes. So that's going to be part of the Kickstarter. We're working on it as we speak. We're very excited. The rules, in my mind, is it's going to support the figures from the Kickstarter, but it will also be a good test to see the demand from the gamers. And I'm very excited about it. So we've got a lot of good ideas. We're all working on it.
Yeah. And the thing as well is we haven't done anything that, to use the classic wargamer term, is like horse and musket. So, that it's again, some of the I'm not that bothered. Sorry, people, about like big Napoleonic set piece battles and stuff like that. But the whole thing that goes on in in North America, and you got the French in there, and you got the English in there, and you've got First Nation Americans in there, and you've got loads of other people going in there, and there's all this stuff going on. I was fortunate enough to be able to live in Canada for nearly 2 years, so I spent some time.
Before they kicked you out, was it?
Before they realised I wasn't kicking me out, yes. Going down around the lakes and stuff and seeing what's there is quite fascinating. And for me, that's another period that really excites me. So, I love the fact that there was a couple of invasions from America into Canada that were perhaps not quite as successful as they would have liked. And there's just loads of good stuff. I used to live just off Tecumseh Street, so when I lived in Toronto, so it's just great. So that there's a whole period there for me that is really exciting and really interesting. But it's not it's not Waterloo. I mean, I've read loads of books on Waterloo. It's fascinating, but as a war game, I'd never want to play it. But the other stuff, yeah,
it's quite. Maybe I'm going to probably get loads of hate mail now. It's quite an easy battle to win, isn't it? If you were the French.
If you were the French, yeah.
Well, yeah.
Maybe
But there were a lot of opportunities for the British to learn how to fight during that period.
Yeah.
I personally, I have a nice library. Glenn has a bigger library. He's telling me to get even more books on the period. I love reading about it. I love the feeling that I get while reading, and my imagination just goes off. And so I've shared my ideas with the guys here for rules and stuff. So I'm very excited. Our work's already been done. So we're sitting on that.
Good.
Yeah. So
we're being asked if we're going to, sorry to change the subject, release the book cover of the Barons War as a poster.
Oh, that's a beautiful picture. It is a beautiful picture. Yeah, that one.
Beautiful.
When you see it on the rule book, you don't quite get the whole thing like you're seeing it there. I mean, that's just awesome.
Tim, we're doing French and Indian War. Tim Colbert, we're doing French and Indian War. So much earlier than 1812.
Yeah.
It's a good period. There's a lot going on. Yeah.
What, 1812?
No, much. He was asking if we're doing the War of 1812.
I'm kidding. Yes. We just about the print. I put it up. We just need to get a price, I guess.
Yeah.
What do we say? Just say how many people want one, and then
we
done. Because
we can put it up for pre-order. I mean, we know we're good.
Yeah.
Funnily enough, we know some good printers. So
we do know some good printers, and we've got a proper scan of it, haven't we?
Yeah, and we could offer it. We could offer it in a couple of sizes as well. I mean, not everybody's got. I mean, if I had it in my little office, it'd probably better off be A4 size. But if you've got a big wall space, you could have A3 or A2. Sorry, for anybody American, that's English sizes.
They're all weird.
They are. It's because it was all imperial. We could offer it in different sizes, I think, and see what people. Because these days we could probably get print to order, couldn't we? And get them sorted. But there's some good stuff, and within that book,
I'll tell you what we'll do.
Lovely artwork.
What we could do is we could get it printed and numbered. Like we won't. We're not going to sign it or anything like that. Peter Dennis should sign it if anybody was going to sign it. But
I was going to say us signing it would just spoil it.
Yeah. We should get them numbered. We'll get proper limited prints done, and that'll be it. We'll do it once.
Yeah.
And then that'll be it done.
What do you think? Nice tubes to post.
Yeah. We'll do it all properly. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good.
Yeah. And we'll do it at a price that is they'll just cover the cost of it all. I don't want to do it and make loads of money off it. That's not what it's about. But we'll do it at a price that just covers, a proper tube. We'll get it printed properly and post it out as a thing for the people in the community. Let's do that.
Let's do that.
I think.
Yeah.
Let's do that. Okay. All right. I will do that. I will sort it all out and we'll work it out what it is and we'll see how many people want one.
Yeah, I can talk to the guys who scanned it for us and see if get some print prices and stuff, because we might go, how much?
Right.
Oh, well, we'll just pass it on.
Yeah, of course.
People, we'll just say this is the price, and do you want one? And we'll just charge what it's going to be.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yeah.
Cool. I think that's it. I
Cool.
think there's any other questions tonight. Does that mean I get off early?
I think so.
Well, if we did, we've done very well because we've actually only done an hour. So normally we're a bit longer. So yeah, but we've covered quite a lot tonight because we've talked about Mortal Gold and Mythic and what we've got planned for this year. We've talked about the release of the Saxons. We've talked about Savage Frontier, and that's on its way. We've talked about the different sculptors and stuff we work with. We've talked about our thoughts and philosophies on Baron's War and what it is to us and stuff. We talked about our hobby, which we haven't done before, so we've covered quite a lot. We've covered quite a lot of stuff. I think it's worth saying that you could probably tell because we're like kids when we all start talking, but we've got a lot of plans for this year. There's a lot of stuff happening, and with the reason we're it's not just me, Tim. There was somebody else in the background.
That's my youngest.
All we need is Andy's dog to jump on his lap now, and then we're sorted.
He's actually asleep under the table.
Yeah. So we regardless of the situation with the pandemic, as we're very fortunate, unlike some industries, that we're the hobby industry, and people have been able to spend time on their hobby, and that's been really good. So we've had. And we count our blessings, have had a good year, and that's allowed us to plan for another load of really good products this year. That's a product, let's be honest, we're making the toy soldiers we want to make. And we've got some great toy soldiers, or if you don't like the phrase, toy soldiers miniatures, coming out this year. So the people we're talking to who are sculpting for us are excited about what we're doing, which always shows in the quality of the sculpts you get. And we are gearing up for another good year. Obviously some things have set us back. We've not got Baron's War 2 out as early as we wanted to, but there was a couple of challenges there. But it will all be dispatched by the end of next week, and then hopefully we'll be getting loads of people hitting us with emails saying that they've arrived and they're happy and all is good, and then we can drop that into the range. We can drop the Saxons in soon. We've got more Mortal God stuff coming out. We've got the next 3 months miniatures done. So you guys, when you guys order off us, there's a new miniature every month. There's some cracking stuff coming for that, which is good. We've still got the spend £100 and get a discount deal going, and we're going to keep running that for a little while. Obviously,
we are.
Well, you don't have to, Tim.
Oh,
You do what you want over there.
No. you know what?
No, Mark. We do what we're told, Tim and I. Let's
That's well,
That's right.
as somebody said to me the other day when I asked them what I thought about them, they went, "You're as nice as you need to be, Mark."
Yes.
No, I think it's really good that we're doing that still because of people are home.
Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Absolutely, yeah.
They're consciously taking their energy that's in the form of money and sending it to us so that we can provide them something. So I'm very grateful.
Yeah.
And the U.S. guys, we all know the postal service here has been buckled.
Yeah.
And Mark knows the stress that I've been under with a lot of stuff. So what I always send you packages is you just light a candle to make sure that they get there. And if they don't, then we take care of it.
Yeah. Put a candle in the window. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But, and again, we're having challenges over here. And, so far, touch wood, we've not had any negativity. It all seems to be going okay. But,
just slower.
Just slower. Everything's just slower, So our customers are brilliant because they know we're busy and it's taken us a bit longer to get stuff out, and B, the entire postal system is going through a lot of changes. I mean, I don't think people realise that actually when people fly away on holiday and stuff, that the hold of that plane could be filled with other goods that are being transported. So people aren't going on holiday. There's not many planes flying, so everything gets delayed. So there's all of this going on. And of course, we've left the EC, so we're working our way through the challenges there as well, because it's not been very well planned and thought out. So I think over the next few months, we're just going to have to live with it and learn how to adapt. So bear with us. So
bear with us.
Yeah.
And we're very grateful for the understanding.
Yeah, of course we are. Yeah, I think we're very lucky that we've got customers who are loyal to us, and if they're not getting 100% satisfaction, they understand that normally it's for reasons beyond our control, and we'll, if we get it wrong or we're too slow or whatever, we'll put it right. So yeah, we're very lucky that way.
Sorry, I wasn't laughing at you. Someone's just put Andy's just slow. It's his age. Thanks, mate.
Yeah. He's not as slow as me, but then I have got 10 years old.
It's a good job me and Kieran Slater go back a long way. Otherwise, he'd be in trouble. I echo all that. I think also for me, my primary focus has been this month Barons War 2. Because I was so disappointed we didn't get it out by the end of December, but it was the right thing to do, and we've rallied, and the guys have worked so hard at Footsore to make this happen. And the fact when it's all picked tomorrow and it's gone, it'll just be really exciting for me to get it out there. Really
traditionally after a major event like that, we would have gone to the pub and then for a curry, but obviously we can't at the moment.
Well, yes, I would have. I'll treat them all anyway. They work so bloody hard. It's unbelievable.
Yes.
They deserve being treated. But I'm going to. Shall I show them? Shall I show them this? It's because it's Barons War 2's almost gone.
Yeah.
And shall I show this?
Share it.
So I'm just prepping now, really, for March. So we'll talk more about it when all the Barons War 2's gone, and we can start talking about the next Kickstarter in March.
Yeah.
There we go.
Jonathan, has sales gone up during lockdown?
So is that considered a light cavalry?
Yes,
Yeah, he's like that's the like cavalry. Yeah,
there's gonna be a unit of him. Yeah,
yeah,
definitely.
Hey,
He's-
children's crusades. I want to do those.
he's the son of the blacksmith. He is. So
Yeah.
more about him later. It's gonna be a really focused campaign. Kickstarter around the campaign. So there'll be campaign setting, like I say, with the scenario, some campaign rules, and some figures that will fit in, which we've shown already. You know, some bandits who live in the woods, and some sergeants and some characters. So, and it'll all complement what we have. So very, very excited about it.
Yeah. Eduardo said it'd be great to meet us at Salute. We'd love there to be a Salute this year, Eduardo. We're still waiting.
It's 22, old man. You ain't got your glasses on.
Oh, yeah. But yes, I mean, you know, probably both Andy and I are probably quite miserable buggers normally. You don't really want to spend any time talking to people, but we do make a special effort for Salute, and we can be quite cheerful and quite talkative. We can manage it for a few hours. Normally, then we need a month of locked behind quiet doors with the lights off to recover. But we do like a good chat at Salute. Yes, it's a mega event.
Have that as a goal for me to be there.
Oh, mate, that would be awesome. You should come over for it.
I would love it.
That would be awesome. We'll
love it.
we'll have a choice of games to play. We should get a couple of tables.
Yeah.
You know, we could set up a couple of cool games.
Yeah.
I was counting. It's been 20 years. Wait, see, 2020. No, wait, 2000. Oh my God, yeah, it's been 21 years since I've been to London. It's killing me.
Yeah.
So
you should come. Yeah, definitely come over.
Well, I'm signed up for the vaccine, so once I get it,
Awesome.
Yeah, I think, you know, an event like, I mean, the American war game shows are just massive. And funnily enough, Andy and I have talked about coming over to the US to go to some of the shows.
I'd love to.
And obviously, everything after we talked about it, everything.
I was going to come last year.
Yeah,
right.
To one of them, Historicon or Adepticon.
Adepticon.
Yeah. So we'll come to one. The next one we can come to.
It's good, Andy, to make sure you know which one you're going to, because like the dates and the distances, it's like, you know.
Such a dick.
Yes.
Will you take me? Will you take me there? Make sure I make it.
Yes, son. I'll take you there. Make sure you get there. I'll put you on the plane.
Thank you.
I could take them from here.
Yeah, but Timmy, you'll need a carer at that end. So yeah.
Thank you.
He'll have the carrier into protection, so it'll be fine.
Awesome.
But yes, it's an open invitation, Tim. We'd love to have you at something like Salute.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool.
Done.
So,
I'm done. Okay. Nothing else.
Yeah.
Thank you all for taking the time to listen to us banter, and thank you for supplying questions and fueling us.
Yeah.
I know I always like to look forward to it, and so thanks a lot for joining us. I hope you have a wonderful weekend. If you have any ideas about Barons War, there's a Barons War group. If you want to show off your miniatures, there's a Barons War group. There's a Footsore Miniature Hobby group. If you have any questions, please feel free to message us or email us. And until next time, everyone, you have a great weekend.
Stay safe, everybody.
Stay safe. Yeah.